The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. A legendary Houston rapper said the release of a shady-ass video showing him high, half nude, and incoherent on drugs only helped him instead of hurting him like the person intended. I spoke exclusively with E.S.G, known as part of the Screwed Up Clique, today after that video went viral. He's been here on The Factor many times as one of our favorite guests. The Louisiana native is seen on the ground with his pants and underwear pulled all the way down with his private part or private area exposed. A video we are not showing here on The Factor. Now, he says he's seeing himself like that has put him on a different path after being so publicly embarrassed in front of the world and, most importantly, his family.
What is happening? What are we watching in that video, first of all?
Man, you watching, something that, an addiction that plagued the Screwed Up Clique, and just, a battle that I went through in my life, you know what I'm saying? And the dude, whoever released it, the little dude, whoever tried to release it or whatever, what happened was, one day we were sitting on the porch over there, and it's like a feeling it's like, I can't explain it, but it's like a feeling like, and a smell that it would like take us back to Screw House, you feel me? Like that was the first time I ever smoked back then. And then, just idle time, man, the devil, last year was a tough year, but, I was super successful musically, but, there was a lot of things going on, man. Lost my dad, just lost my mother. It's, just a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? So, and it was just no excuse, but unfortunately, that just happened to be one day, man, and I never would like smoke more than one of them. And we, there was we wound up smoking like 3 of them, and I never even knew that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just thinking of something else, just sitting there. And when I snap back too, I'm still sitting there. So, I never knew that I never knew I fell out of none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was in a dreaming state of something else totally different.
Now, you said, really quick, you said you smoked 3. 3 of what? Exactly, what is it called?
Formaldehyde, Sherm, Fry.
Okay, got it.
It's a drug that my OG used to smoke around me when I was young. You feel what I'm saying? Successful people. I'm talking about millionaires. It wasn't people try to judge one drug from another, whatever, but it was a battle I had went through, man. And, I had lived long like 5 years, 6, 7 years. Then I just had to be around certain people. Sometimes it just popped up. And then that day, I never knew what had happened was, you know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, it's tried to take advantage of it, use it for cloud chasing. And, so it got released the other day. My daughter called me from Mississippi. My sister called me from Baton Rouge. Of course, my son seen it. Everybody seen it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm a man. I'm a beast. I'm a boss. I walk in my truth, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, all they did is just help me even more know why I shouldn't hang with those kind of people, even do those kind of drugs. You feel me? And so, I only got almost 2,000 new followers, big interviews in Atlanta. I'm on the road the whole time. Me and my boy Baby Sam, we just did a show in Denver, just left Dallas, just left New Orleans. Now we at the DJ retreat again. I'm gonna take it all in and flip it back. I'm gonna use it all in my stand-up comedy, and it is what it is, just to show the kids don't do drugs, you know what I'm saying? And
Right. And how long ago was that actual video taken? How long ago was that?
It was a while back, but the release of it was just a few days ago, though.
No, I mean, the actual incident was it a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years?
It wasn't even a whole year ago. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was months back. It was a recent video, and I'd be like, man, I don't do that. I ain't going over there. You know what I'm saying? Like 90 days have passed, like 3 months passed. I hadn't even went over there. And for some strange reason that day, my partner, I had just got in town, and all my homies were somewhere else. and I just happened to be with the wrong people at the wrong time, and just
right.
I
And to
just feel
see them to exploit you and take advantage of you and videotape that pissed the average person off, because you
right.
know what you mean to us as a legend here in this country, in the rap industry. To see them take advantage of you is just disappointing and heartbreaking as well for many of your fans like myself who are out here.
Yeah, but you know what's so crazy? Like my partner called me this morning. He like, bruh, man, I ain't know this many people love you. So sometimes, you have to see, you have to see some hate to see how much love it is really for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my resume speaks for itself. I wrote Wanna Be a Baller. Got, plaques with Drake, Slim Thug, Lil Flip, Screwed Up Click. The list goes on and on and on of my accolades. And so all my good days outweigh my bad days. I done did so much good for the city and so much good for different artists that one little flaw, it ain't nothing. So for those that shared it and used it to laugh at, a lot of them are taking it down and feeling bad. But there's a lot worse things that other people have done in society and been right back accepted. You feel me? From the Kobe Bryants to the different things, you feel me? To even Donald Trump, just grab a lot of, you feel me? So a lot of people that went through way worse things than that, At least I ain't no snitch. I ain't on camera snitch. I ain't on camera touch no kids.
You can't come back from that one, snitching.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a mistake that I made, but I needed to see that because I've never been that embarrassed. But I'm Teflon. So you know what I'm saying? It wasn't, it is what it is. In the hood, we know what it is. We know what comes with it. Half of the people probably sharing it, I'm a real comedian. I can talk about them like a dog. You feel me? They probably, of course you can laugh at that, but God woke me up that next day to see the sun.
There you go.
Clear state of mind. And I know I'd never do it again. And because that embarrassment, to my son, to my daughter, to my sister, you feel me? To my family members, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So don't do drugs, kids, and that just, that's just a demon that I fight with, and I've overcome it. And they helped me overcome it. They just don't know. They saved my life.
There you go. Well, E.S.G, we are glad you're alive and doing well. You're out touring, and we appreciate your time here on The Factor Uncensored tonight. And we'll see you in studio when you get time to come back and visit us.
I really appreciate you, my brother. Number love.
It's a basic principle that we heard from E.S.G. Simple. Don't do drugs, and it will have quite an impact. And we thank him for sharing that with us.